Hello, how are we doing? Is my microphone working? Wow, look at that. Prepared and actually with functioning tech. Happy. How are we all doing? That's only one person in here at the moment. I will wait for a bit, let more people show up. Maybe I'll start doing my bits and pieces. Hang on a second. My setup isn't working. All right, there we go. Not sure why. I feel like it's an OBS thing where often um stuff just needs to be reconnected sometimes. Okay. Let me zoom this in a bit so people can read it more easily. This doc's got a whole lot of stuff in it now, which is kind of fun. What are we on? What are we on? What did I call this? Episode 14? Yeah. So it's my 14th stream since I restarted kind of earlier on this year. And the original idea, just to code as a bit of a hobby, make a game that teaches people how to code. We're getting closer to actually having something, since I sort of did a bit of research and then locked down the engine of Godot that we're using. Halogen, how's it going? Ooh, wait, you're number one as well. There's some funny thing with the top fans. I don't exactly know how it works. Oh wait, no, I think you've just pushed Dongju down one. uh, okay, okay. So let me. Where am I? Open up Godot. I love how it's still called coding interface. Thing doesn't seem to update retroactively. Oh yeah, Dongju still says number one. Maybe at the time that he posted, he was number one. Okay, okay. So we have Godot here. Um, let's run it because I actually have been sticking to this hilarious idea of only working on this on stream, which means every time I stream, I have to like spend a couple of minutes of just like remembering what exactly I'm doing. But I think I got this to the point where Chicken is in this hilarious little, I mean, super, super dodgy restaurant thing. And then we have the instructions to go to certain indexes here. And we can see Chicken went to 1 and then to 4. Actually, if I do these in the other order, it'll be clearer. Let me reset. Oh, the reset button actually does something now. So Chicken goes to 4 and then goes back to 1. And so we've got movement into each of these kind of index positions now. And I think the way that this is going to work is this bench top here is going to be a memory space, I guess. And we're going to be able to store objects in here, and Chicken is going to be able to pick them up and put them down in different places. So I think the next thing that I want to do, all right, and I'm saying here, like, next goal is pick up and put down objects, which is like reading and writing to memory. Chicken becomes Turing complete, which is kind of like all it is, right? Turing is just a one-dimensional piece of information that you can read and write to. In a proper Turing machine, there's also a state of knowing where you're up to. and the tape is infinitely long in either direction. But also, I think the original one, it's only ones and zeros. We can do more detail, but we're going to have it in less space. Wait, where's my thing? Because I want this to be visually understandable. So we're going to be able to give Chicken instructions to go to different positions, pick things up from those positions, and then place things in positions. So it's kind of like Chicken's a memory accessor. Like Chicken's roughly a pointer, but with her own ability to carry data and then pick it up and put it down. So that's what we're going to work on today. And in order to be picking up and putting down stuff, we need to also be able to do some stuff visually. So what I'm going to need is a little bit of graphic for, I guess, a plate or something that she picks up and carries it and then puts it back down. And then we'll get that going for starters, just the ability to pick up and put down objects. And we will then continue on after that to having some kind of information in the objects themselves. So let us write a plan. Chicken is a hard disk needle. Yeah, basically, like a read-write head. Okay, so what are we? 4th of August. I should also say we're going to be taking a bit of a break because I'm about to go overseas. And so I actually don't think I'll be streaming again in August. I think I get back from overseas, I think 26th of August, and I don't think there's another Monday in August. It might be the end of August or further on. Nightcakes, what is Turing? Oh, wait, do you already know this and you are feeding me interesting questions to talk about? So, Alan Turing. Oh, you only know Turing from Helldivers. The bug front. Ah! Alan Turing may have been one of the people who originally... Wait, did they talk about bugs? I can't remember if they talked about bugs in Alan Turing's time, or that was actually something that came up later. Anyway, Alan Turing is someone who worked during World War II. He was a mathematician and kind of one of the people who built up modern computing into the state it is today. He's credited with cracking the German Enigma code, which allowed the Allies to hear a lot of the German secret communications. So they were able to decode the German encryption machines using the precursors to modern computers. He had a theory of making a computer Turing complete. So let's look up Turing complete. Turing completeness is actually, rather than just having all this text on screen, let me talk about it somewhere where I can write stuff. So Turing completeness is a kind of the ability to implement a Turing machine. And it's really, really simple. So, Turing machine has memory, thought of as a one-dimensional tape that you can read and write from and to. A head, which is like when you had tapes, you had heads that would read what was magnetically stored on the tape. This doesn't have to be magnetic or anything, it's just an idea. So a head that can read the tape and can move along the tape in any direction. I mean, there's only two directions, but, you know, it's back and forth along the tape. A state that remembers... I'm actually just doing this all from memory. I'm pretty sure this is what a Turing machine is. A state that remembers what it wants to do, and any instructions it will carry out based on what it reads on the tape. So when you think about it, the tape is just memory. So whether we think of hard disk or RAM or anything, and the head is just the ability to index into memory and read or write from memory. And then the state is whatever algorithm or whatever you're implementing. Oh wow, someone else is actually in this doc. That's cool. I know I sent a link to this doc ages ago, so I assume it's one of you that's in here. Okay, so Nikex is saying, also just curious about the Helldivers wiki has this bit of trivia on the planet Turing. Turing is named in reference to the mathematician and computer scientist Alan Turing, who developed the Turing test, which is a test of machine's ability to exhibit intelligent behavior equivalent to or indistinguishable from that of a human. So, the Turing machine is one thing, which I think about a lot, because the Turing machine is the foundation of basic computing. And Turing completeness is whether something can do all of the capabilities of a Turing machine, which is just store information, read or write that information, and be able to use that information to do something. The funniest thing about Turing completeness is pretty much all computers are Turing complete. There's even some really funny things that are also Turing complete. I think one of the funniest things that's Turing complete is Microsoft PowerPoint. So Microsoft PowerPoint's technically Turing complete because you can move between slides and you can write a 1 or a 0 on all the slides of a slideshow, and you can navigate back and forth along the slideshow and write ones and zeros. So it actually has the memory and the read write layout and stuff like that. It's pretty funny. So I'm going to say basically all programming languages and a bunch of surprising things are Turing complete. What isn't Turing complete yet is the chicken restaurant. So chicken becomes Turing complete when my little game can implement all of these things. So we actually do have this one-dimensional tape. We can't read or write to it. We have chicken, which is the head that can move along in any direction, but we can't read the tape. Hang on. Read, write the tape. And we kind of have the state that remembers what it wants to do because we have this kind of code window here. Nothing's pretty yet, but I feel like at this stage of a game, nothing's going to be pretty. Yeah. Okay, the other thing that you're talking about, Nightcakes, is the Turing test, which is kind of fun. It's whether a computer can convince us that it is a human. Although convince us is, I don't know if that's the right phrasing for it. And I think for the longest time, hang on, let's talk about this. Right. The question is, can a computer convince you that it's a human? And I think for the longest time, this was considered a, like, in a conversation, in text, so we don't get caught up on voices, etc. So we're not getting caught up on whether it can make a human voice or sound conversational, but just purely in text. Could a computer convince you that it is actually a human? Super interesting question. Um, I'm gonna say originally thought of as a threshold for AI becoming. What do I want to say here? Relatively as intelligent as a human. Give me 1 second. I'll just go show. It's funny. My partner is being very supportive, and she is watching me from her computer over there. Except I can hear my own voice a couple of seconds behind. It's very distracting. It's funny when you can hear yourself. Like I always I used to do a lot of public speaking training for people, and a lot of that was saying you can record yourself and listen to it back if you want to hear how things are going. And a lot of people are like, nope, not going to do that. It's like, that's fine, you don't have to. But being able to hear your own voice can be very um off-putting. Hang on a second, I just noticed the semicolon bracket count, which I currently am at 0, so I'm currently doing well on that. Oh, thanks, Night Cakes. Um, yeah, you're saying they didn't know they thought of this stuff almost a century ago. Yeah, yeah. So the modern era of computation is kind of getting close to 100 years old. Um, I don't know when people would consider it to start, whether it's that um particular work done in the UK at this place called Bletchley Park, which is kind of famous. There's a couple of movies about it. Um, and what's we call it? Whether that would be considered the start of modern computing, when we started genuinely using machines to do our computation, or whether it doesn't particularly start until a lot of research started in the later era, the post-war era, late 40s into the 50s and things. But a lot of computing connects to Turing as being one of the people who really pushed this forward in the 1900s or 20th century. So let's go back to the Turing test. Can a computer convince you that it's a human? And one of the tests was in a conversation. Can a computer convince you it's a human? And this was this threshold. And I'm going to say, unfortunately, this man, this is hilariously topical. This is very, very present. Uh, So I'm going to say, unfortunately, this meant we put more effort into chatbots than actual intelligence. And you can take from that what you will. It's not entirely the case that those of us that were doing artificial intelligence research put all of our efforts into the Turing test. We're not like, as a field, not that simple-minded. I say we because I actually was part of this for a few years. But I was not working on chatbots and things like that. I was working on game playing AI, which is, a different field and one that was very, very huge. And there was this other idea that it's like, okay, if the AI can beat us at the hardest games we know, then it's as intelligent as us. To the point where both chess and Go received monumental amounts of effort. And in the end, we have computers that can beat all humans on the planet at both of those games. Whether or not those things are using way, way more resources than a single human would ever have access to, that's another thing that you'd compare. Whether like a standard low-level computer could do this or not, that's another question. But the fact that computers can do it at all is kind of impressive, because a lot of things like chess and they did Jeopardy and they did Go. This is a different company. So IBM did chess and Jeopardy with It was Deep Blue and then Watson were the two programs that won chess. I think it was against Garry Kasparov. Um, in that era, late 1980s, I want to say. Let's look this up. Deep Blue, Garry Kasparov. Oh, that's a lot later than I thought. 1996. I was thinking 1986. Um, and he was the world chess champion at the time. And the computer beat him 4-2, and then 3.5 to 2.5, which is very, very close. But either way, you don't have to beat the world champion by much to be considered an amazing achievement. Like, because I think before this point, computers were not as competitive at chess. So there was that, and then there was Watson Jeopardy. That was 2011. So this was about getting questions in natural human language. So this is a big step up from chess, which is a very constrained environment where everything can be codified really easily. So Watson was like, yeah, someone, I think they typed it in. I don't think it had voice recognition. Although 2011, it totally could have. Anyway, getting the question in a human format and then beating the best people in the world in Jeopardy. So that's not only kind of dealing with human speech and the connotations involved, context, and all this kind of stuff that you don't get. And also being able to like collect the right information and give the answers in the right format. So very interesting, because nowadays we think that this would be trivial, this would be easy, but that's because ChatGPT exists now and it did not exist then, and we were nowhere near having stuff. Because in 2011, I wonder whether we had gotten to the current technique of neural networks that we've started using for everything nowadays in 2011. I have a feeling that we didn't, because Watson was made on the old school style of thing, which we call knowledge representation and things. Yeah, knowledge representation, automated reasoning, machine learning techniques. Oh, wait. No, it's called deep QA, but it did not involve the use of deep neural networks. So deep neural networks is like the kind of stuff that we're using nowadays, and Watson predates that, so it had none of the kind of structure or style or anything that ChatGPT and stuff uses nowadays. It was doing it in a really explicit, kind of coded, specific kind of way. So this was like the next big step where people were like, okay, you can beat chess, fine, well and good. Let's throw AI at something that's inherently human, answering like trivia questions. Now, 2011, I would say that a human with access to Google would be able to win Jeopardy. So the fact that the information's available is a thing, but a computer that can just understand what humans are saying, understand the context around that, then know how to find the right information and then present it as a correct answer, I think is more difficult. So I think as far as I remember, the Watson destroyed the Jeopardy champions of that era. So there's these two people here, Brad Rudder and Ken Jennings. I don't actually know who they are, but these were the people who had won Jeopardy against a bunch of other humans in previous eras, and Watson just kind of destroyed them. so it's kind of cool. And then I think one of the next big ones was Google DeepMind creating I hesitate to call this a program, but because it's a program connected to a whole infrastructure, right? Like this is like much later era. Oh, that's 2015. I guess it's not that much later than Watson. But like, like Watson's got a picture of like the actual server infrastructure that was running it, whereas AlphaGo probably had access to cloud computing at that era. I was super excited about this because I was actually angling for a job at DeepMind back in the day when I was doing a PhD in game playing artificial intelligence, because this was the place to go. But I never finished the PhD, so I never ended up going there. But there's a documentary about this, which is a lot of fun. I watched it. Actually, to the point where there were people who I knew who I'd met at AI conferences who I saw in the background in the film, and I was like, oh, I know those people. And I like to say that like those people had seen my research on um, taking certain algorithms and making them into distributed uh, algorithms. So taking algorithms that shouldn't be able to be distributed and turning them into distributed algorithms. That was the stuff I was working on in my PhD. Um, and I like to think that they saw my research and they used some of it in AlphaGo. I have zero evidence to suggest that. It's the same thing as like whenever any of my students are successful in something, I claim full credit for it. So I'm just going to claim full credit for this entire piece of software because I know someone had seen my research and worked on this. There's actually no connection, but it's fun anyway, right? It's fun to kind of know that I had a small degree of separation from the people that worked on this. Like I met some of them, but that's all. But for years, the game of Go. So if you know Go, it's just like the 2D grid and the white and the black. Uh, what are they called? Tokens or whatever. And then it's all about taking taking territory and stuff like that. Um, and the kind of AIs that I'd been working on up until that point were the best things um, to do, which is actually listed here, Monte Carlo tree search. That was the thing that I was working on. Um, but they combined the Monte Carlo tree search with the deep learning neural networks, and deep learning neural networks are all the rage now. So the deep learning neural networks are what's behind all of the generative AI that we use nowadays. So this was a big leap forward with that. And up until I'm thinking 2015, 2016 kind of thing, um, these game playing algorithms were never able to reach a sort of grandmaster level. I don't know if they have grandmasters in Go, but they weren't able to reach the level where you'd be considered like, world competitive in any way. They were like, no, the computers have reached their limit. And there was always this idea about Go that there was something fundamentally creative about the human mind that could play this game that the computers couldn't. Um, Unfortunately, in 2016, that was disproven with a computer that was capable of beating everyone in the world, beat the world champion at that time. So it was like March 2016, it beat Lisa Doll in a 5-game match. And Lisa Doll, I think, was the world champion at the time. Yeah. Um, yeah. And so that was, I think, a pretty big deal because it was AI crossing a boundary that had been sort of set where people thought that there was something inherently human in it. I mean, that's our fault, really. I don't know who came up with the idea, but the idea that Go was a game that was unable to be learnt by AI. And I think that comes from sort of exponential complexity. When you think about mapping out a future. Okay, let's I feel like I'm teaching again. I am teaching right now, aren't I? Okay, mark a pen. Yep. All right. So we have now here, and then we have we're gonna play a game. and we're going to choose between different moves. And here's one turn into the future. Then our opponent is going to choose different moves. The funny thing about describing exponentiality on paper is that you run out of paper incredibly quickly. I'm already basically out of paper here. Okay, so my opponent chooses these moves, and then I can choose another set of moves. And I'm not going to draw this. I'm just going to do this. And I'll put a few circles here to be representatives, right? The number's already too big. This is only 2 moves of mine into the future, 1 move of my opponent in a really, really simple game where you can only choose 3 moves, and I already can't be bothered drawing how many that is. In order to be good at a difficult game like Go or even chess or something like that, you're looking at, like, you can't just look 2 moves into the future. You're going to lose if you're only planning 2 moves in the future. So you're like, another level, and then another level, and then somewhere up here you're at, like, what, 10 to the power of 100 or whatever. Like, there are so many possible options here that we lack the amount of computing power in the visible universe. So if we took all of the atoms in the visible universe, and did a whole bunch of nuclear physics to convert them all to silicon so that we could store, like, make one giant computer, we'd kill everyone, we'd destroy all the stars and everything. We're not even thinking about how much power it would take to power this. We turn all of this into a computer, it can't store a number that big. So if we think about that, and we think about somehow being able to reason about a time into the future from where we are now, and what kind of choices we want to make for the game we want to play, it's functionally impossible to see it all. So we need algorithms that can thin this down and say, look, we can't look at all of it, we'll just look at some of it and stuff. Oh no. Paint 3D. Wholesome Asian pirate software. Oh no. I heard that Pirate Software has landed himself on the potentially incorrect side of several arguments recently, and I think his popularity is waning because of that. I'm not sure. I've only heard some stuff about some arguments that have been going on. Yeah, right. I will try not to weigh in on arguments in general, I guess. I should watch the Meat Canyon satire animation. Okay, I'll check it out later. Okay, so anyway, the idea, Go is a game that does not have 3 choices per branch. I think, like, Go has... Is it a 9x9 board? I can't remember. 9x9 I think is actually small for Go, but, like, if it is a 9x9 board, there's 81 choices. So instead of there being only 3 choices here, there's 81 choices. So the exponent, like, exponential's bad enough. With only 3, exponential's bad enough. But with 81, exponential is just massively wide. And that was one of the reasons why Go was seen as a very, very difficult thing to do. Because I think chess is... Well, it's about 20? No, it's more than that. I'm gonna say it's about 30 choices. I am hand waving this from just, like, there's 16 pieces and some of them can do multiple locations. Actually, it's probably more than 30. So, but not all of them can move at a time. But anyway, you're getting massively high numbers as your exponent here. So every time you choose, you can choose multiple things, and then every time the other person chooses, you multiply it by that number again. So, yeah, you get to these astronomically uncomputable numbers much quicker, the more kind of choice complexity there is in a game. Um, for example, to give it a another option, tic tac toe is 9 choices, but it reduces in the number of choices the further you go into the game. So it just narrows and narrows and narrows, and actually is like much easier to calculate. Hi, Abram. This is a Comp 2521 lecture. Nightcakes looked it up for me. Estimated 10 to the 43 to 10 to the 50 distinct legal positions in chess. Is 2521 algorithms? I love how the ex-UNSW students know all the codes, but ex-UNSW lecturers only know the code of the course they were teaching, and maybe some that were prerequisite. So I can't remember, but yeah, I'm sure it's something like that, right? Let me check. Comp 2521. Data structures and algorithms. Yeah. This is my bread and butter. This stuff. At some point, it would have been fun to teach that course. You saw a tree and you're like, yeah, data structures. Yeah. No, I love data structures. There's so much cool stuff you can do with them. We do trees and graphs and stuff like that. It's like a lot of fun. So tic-tac-toe is 9 choices, and a lowering branching factor as time goes on. We would call this the branching factor for a game, is like how many possible futures we can create with it. I like that you say that, Halogen. This is more of a statistics diagram, because a lot of what I was working on, which was Monte Carlo tree search, is an algorithm that doesn't try to do the width, but what it would do is it would just walk one path to the end. And it's very easy to walk one path to the end because you ignore the width. And then you go, okay, did we win or lose there? And then we would walk another path. And we ask, did we win or lose? And then we'd walk another path. And then we would say, oh, out of all of these, we won on this one and we lost on those. So we'll go along that path and try some different tests, like this. And then you'd get this kind of thing where if you thought you were going to win, you'd test it more if you thought you were winning, until you could prove that you weren't going to win there. And then you'd kind of kill off that branch and you'd try somewhere else. And so what this was attempting to do was to look closely at the futures where you thought you could win, in order to verify which of those futures was the best one, and then choose one of these moves that you have here. While you are focusing on things you think you're going to win, you do still need to put a percentage of your time into checking other branches in case the one that you thought you were going to win on is like a local minima, and you're only you're pushing like a 60% win chance, whereas over here on one of these you've actually got an 80% win chance. You just haven't you haven't explored it because the first branch you explored there was a loss. And so you get this kind of thing where you take your computing power and you just simulate again and again and again and again. And at the end of it, you reach a point where you say, we have a good idea that there's a high percentage chance of winning on this branch here, and we've tested it, and we've tested a bunch of the other branches to say that we didn't get a better chance of winning on the other branches. Monte Carlo tree search, which is what I'm explaining now, is what I was working on, and it is used a lot in finance and stuff like that to be like, should we invest in a certain thing? And they plan out possible futures for something, and they run this kind of simulation on it, on looking at the statistical likelihoods of different events happening, and then they say, all right, we think we should or shouldn't purchase a particular stock or something. I actually don't know at all about how it's used in finance, because for me, money stuff was always much less interesting than game stuff. I know exactly how this stuff works for games, but not as much for money. Anyway, so where was I going with this? Yeah, the accomplishment of AlphaGo was getting around this 81 branching. I don't think there's anything. There's very, very few other games. I don't even know if Go is a 9x9. I don't know if I'm just making that number up. It might even be much bigger than that. Size of a Go board. 19 by 19. Oh my god. Alright, let us revise this with a number that I can't even calculate on the top of my head. 19 times 19. Oh my god, it's 360. Holy shit. Alright, that's a stupendous amount of branching. It's not going to stay 361. After someone's placed one piece, it goes down to 360. So it does have the narrowing that Tic Tac Toe does. It only takes you like over 300 turns between the players before it narrows down to the largest branching that Tic Tac Toe is. So you're never going to get down to this. I think games are over well before you get down to 9 choices. So that's the problem, is the width of this thing is really, really wide, and it's hard to navigate something when there are so many options. So I don't know, but I think that's where deep learning came into it, where this program spent a lot of time and effort learning about the most common choices people would make in early stages of the game, and then places people would get to early and saying, okay, let's skip to that because we know the kind of standard opening moves that everyone would be doing, and we'll assume a certain amount of standard opening moves, and then we'll go deeper, and then in the game that we're currently in, we'll try to simulate our future from there, that kind of thing. I don't really know. I haven't read papers on it and stuff. I'm sure there's a lot more detail about how DeepMind was doing this, but to overcome this massive 360-ish branching factor, which is like way higher than chess, much higher. Tic-tac-toe is fully solvable. Like we could sit down and draw all the outcomes from tic-tac-toe. That's where like any game researchers, we always start with tic-tac-toe and we look at our algorithms of tic-tac-toe, and then we say, is this stuff actually working with tic-tac-toe? And if it is, can we expand it to something which is slightly more complex but still within the realm of like understandability? There was a game of tic-tac-toe I used to run, which is like kind of fun. I'm not gonna save it, it's just a whiteboard. There's a game I used to run at UNSW open days and stuff like that. And it looks like tic-tac-toe, but it's actually called Nineboard Tic Tac Toe, because on each of these boards there is a tic-tac-toe board. And the funny thing about it is the way to win this was to win on any 3 of these boards. So let's say, for example, Naught's won here, here, and here. So they would win by doing like Naught here, and here. I'm just not putting the X's in here because I can't be bothered. And here. So if you were able to win on all 3 of these, you would win the whole game. The trick is that in the sequence of play, so let's say the cross player plays here. Oh, I'll have to use another color. This would mean that the Noughts player would play on the bottom middle board next, because that was the position the cross player played in. So the Noughts player would then play, I don't know, I'm just going to say top middle. And then after they play top middle, that sends control up to this one. And the X player would play, I don't know, bottom left. And that would send the control to the other player here. And then they could play middle right. And then that would send control over to here. And you can kind of see the sequence of how that plays. The beauty of this is everyone understands tic-tac-toe, so we understand how to win each of these one individual boards, and we also understand how to win the big nine board here because it's tic-tac-toe. The thing we can't get through our heads is how to move the other person around so that we win things and they don't. And this was a beautiful, beautiful game because it's actually not too hard. Like, my AI could win this quite easily. And it's not too hard uh, to go well beyond a human capability to play a game, while not reaching the limit of a computer's ability to play it. So I used to set this up against my research AI that I'd created, and to play against prospective UNSW students before they came to UNSW. The trick was, I can't remember what it was I had to do, but I had to severely limit my AI. Like, not to like if I gave it like a 1 second of processing time to do the simulations, it was completely unbeatable by any humans. So I had to bring it down to like a really limited number of calculations. Like, it was only allowed to simulate like 1,000 games rather than like a genuine kind of like, because with a few seconds of processing, you'd simulate millions of games because some of them would finish pretty early, and the game system's very, very easy to kind of, like, the engine's really easy to say what the next move is and what the options are and stuff like that. Because when you think about it, even though you're moving around between all these spaces, your choice, your branching factor is quite narrow because it's a maximum of 9 in each of these, and it gets narrower over time. So even though there's 81 places, or maybe that's where I got the 81 from. There's 81 places you can play. You only have to make a choice out of 9 at any given time. And that gets less. So yeah, so I actually had to hold back the AI a lot in order to allow humans a chance to win. Because I would get like, and these, like, you could tell that they were going to be computer science students. I get people who would like turn up at some point in the day, they'd play against the AI, and then they'd come back after lunch, and then they'd come back again in the afternoon, and they'd been thinking about the game all day. And I'm just like, yes, I know where you end up. I know you're a comp sci student. Anyway, this is one of my favorite games. Um, this is so funny. I feel like maybe at some point I'll do some coding tonight, but this is actually a lot of fun to do. So, um, there's another game that I learnt this from my thesis supervisor, well, my PhD supervisor, a guy named Michael Tilscher. You may know him from, what is he teaching? He's taught some parts of the AI course, some advanced AI stuff at UNSW, but he also does postgrad early courses and things, so you may not have seen him unless you're in like postgrad computing. Stream of this game where it's me versus chat. We could do that right now, actually. That'd be pretty funny. Oh, you know what? I'd have to. No, I actually don't have the code. It's actually kind of sad how there's a lot of code that I've written over the years that is just gone. But there's a part of me that wants to re-implement, like, because I actually could re-implement. Oh, you know what? That would be a massive tangent if I re-implement a basic version of what I did in my PhD. I reckon with a bit of vibe coding we could do it really quickly, but let's not. But yeah, we could make an engine for playing this game and make sure it has an API so that the AI can hook up to it, and then I can implement a Monte Carlo tree search AI, and then have it playing this game. And that's just a side thing, but yeah, we could actually just play. All right. I'm just gonna Control Z the hell out of this thing. Okay. So, I mean, there's only 3 people in chat at the moment, so it's probably just Halogen and Nightcakes. It's probably going to be the 2 of you. playing. But let me go first. I'll go first as noughts, and you can be crosses. And now, chat, you may choose. This is where we get to figure out what the time delay is on my stream. It's going to be a few seconds at least. You can choose where you want to go next. You are playing on this one because I started in bottom left. So, where would you like to play? This might take a while. Time delay and thinking delay. Yeah. Because the funny thing is, if you play top left, top right here, it's really bad because you give me a numerical advantage on this one. Middle left. Okay. There is an agreement. You played middle left, so now I play on this one because you played middle left. I'm gonna play middle left. So now I've actually sent you back to the same one that I'm in here. So you can play one in this one here, but it will definitely go to one of the other squares because I've already taken up the one that goes back to where it was. I can't remember the good strategy to do this. Like, you gotta understand that I worked on my PhD between 2012 and 2015, I think, like that. So it's like my knowledge, my memory of this game beyond the bare rules of the game, which is quite easy to understand. My strategy for this game is something I can't remember. Okay, Nightcakes is suggesting top left. I was just like, that's exactly why you suggested it, because you figured I probably wouldn't remember. And it's kind of fun because it is actually really interesting. I do have way more interesting, cool stuff to talk about. Human perception of games versus machine perception of games. So, Nightcakes is thinking top left. Halogen, where do you want to go? This is kind of fun. Not mad at top left. All right, we'll go for it because we do. This could take a long time if we don't just go for things quickly. I mean, we're not too fussed about who wins this. I love the funny thing is like everyone kind of avoids the center because you don't want to give the other person the numerical advantage at the center, but you kind of want to do some of the centers around the outside edges because that's um how you eventually kind of win. And a lot of the standard strategies for tic-tac-toe don't work because you're going to get asymmetry in these things. You're going to get some of them where one person just gets to play more than the other person. I'm going to do middle right. I don't know why I'm doing that, but I am. So you're playing here now. This would be more fun with more people. Sadly, I do not have a lot of viewers. It's funny because I think at some point I had a lot of people in the streams, but I just think I no longer do anything that would create any kind of organic growth on the channel. So it's sort of like, you know, it is what it is. I'm not too fast. Okay, bottom middle. Okay, so bringing us back down to here. Okay, I don't want to go bottom left or middle right because that'll give you kind of this numerical superiority here. I guess middle left might be okay. Because I've sort of boxed you in a little there. Or I could just go to one of the other random ones. You know what? Yeah, I'm going to try that. And see if that actually makes a difference. I actually don't know. Because I can't... Yeah, the funny thing about this is tic-tac-toe only takes 9, or even less than that, kind of... Yeah. I guess if I actually organized things in advance and had things that would attract people, it was like, yeah, play games against your ex-lecturer. Oh, you know what I found out? What I heard? Dan Mansfield is back at UNSW. I think he's gone back to being a lecturer. So maybe the trimesters going back to semesters has brought him back to UNSW. Okay, so you're playing in this one. So yeah, right? I guess you probably wouldn't have seen it because I think he's only gone back recently, so I don't know if he's actually teaching courses yet, or he's still just prepping stuff and doing research. Let me see what the internet thinks. Nope, 3 years ago. I mean, he's always been, wow, there's a phone number for him. I bet that's not hooked up to anything. It doesn't really say anything. I mean, I wonder how many people are still there. Am I even still here? No. Oh wow, what is this? Interesting. Oh no, these are just random. Yeah, these are just random lectures. Okay, so I'm not there anymore as a staff member, but Dan is. So it doesn't say much, really. I wonder if there's anything else saying whether he's all a bunch of official stuff. No, don't know. There's not much news around about him going back. Anyway, search LinkedIn. Maybe. I don't necessarily want to log into my LinkedIn while I'm on stream, though. Hang on a second. Let's go incognito mode. Oh. No. Okay, no, we're just not. I'll let you search it on your own if you want to. I'm pretty sure he does use it. Well, you know, we all use it just to a certain extent. Okay. So we're on the left middle here. Your play. Because I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. You've got 3, yeah. Also, I played first, so I have a tiny advantage because tic-tac-toe always slightly favors whoever starts playing first. Bottom right. So, what works here, which is really good, is you've now created a trap where I can never play middle left. Because if I ever play middle left now, you will instantly win. Because I now have something that's completely off limits for me. But we are reaching the point where sooner or later you're going to have to give me some advantage like that somewhere else. Because I've got 1, 2, 3 here. Oh, and even if you send me here, I will take advantage from you because I'll put one in the middle and then you will not be able to complete yours and I'll be threatening there. So neither of us can play middle left anymore, which is really interesting, right? So this is where the strategy starts to unfold. But yeah, I could give up this one to get the center and then try to get some advantage in the center. Okay. I'm gonna do a similar thing that I did before. I'm gonna share this bottom right square with you. There's a funny thing about the visual nature of tic tac toe as well, where a lot of it is our spatial reasoning. Getting positions and blocking each other is something that hooks well into human spatial reasoning. Another reason why board games are so popular is that you can place things on a board, you can move around. There's a sort of a interesting sort of physiological idea of our brain that we don't have. Like, we talk about artificial general intelligence. Everyone's going on and on about an intelligence with the capability of kind of solving any problem, and how that's going to be really amazing. But the funny thing is, we don't have that either. We like to think of ourselves as not artificial, an organic general intelligence. We have the ability to create things from scratch based on our experiences and solve any kind of problem, but we're not. We're actually quite a specific intelligence attached to a physical robot. The flesh and bones body that we are. And it means that we're much better at spatial reasoning, like mechanical kind of like moving around on a 2D space, because that's the majority of the spaces we live are 2D. But we're worse once you start thinking in 3D. And we're also worse when you start thinking about entirely abstract things. So I will show you in a sec, because I don't have another paint. I don't know if you can actually do multiple paint windows or tabs or anything. You can't. No, it's all right. Or maybe you can. I don't know. I'll show you another thing later, which is like one of the interesting things about the difference between human intelligence and machine intelligence. Okay, we're in the bottom right corner. Feel free to pick a move. So some of these is me just going, all right, we're going to go to the same place again, and see if we can force some conflict. Because I think I give away the least if I bring you back to where I am now. We share the space, and we both just sort of threaten each other in that space. But now you just need to decide where you either give me some space or like push me somewhere where I threaten you, or push me somewhere neutral. This is a very funny stream. I feel like my streams after the fact are always labeled something that is not what they were planned for. Send to the one we've been in middle right. Oh yeah, that makes sense, because you're not giving away any particular advantage if you do that. And it's also decent because you cut off one of my 3 possible wins there. Yeah, so you're thinking of cutting off that. Both of those are strategically the same level of good when you think about it, because both of them are on one of my paths that I'd have to try to use to win here, and they both send you somewhere where you don't lose an advantage. So this one is interesting because I want to block this or this. And nearly all of those places are bad places for me. So if I go middle, I give you crucial advantage in the middle. I go top, that's fine. If I go bottom right, I give you a 2 out of 3. Bottom left, I give you a 2 out of 3. So everything's starting to get riskier. Night Cakes is... Oh, you're playing Overwatch. All right. It's going to end up me and Halogen playing against each other. All right. I am going to try Should I try top middle? Yeah, that seems to be like the safest place that I could play because this is just Uncharted. And there's a long time before this one actually develops into anything. Yeah, if it's 1v1, then you could just talk. I wonder if I'm set up for that. I have computer audio set up. Little bit joking. You know, one day we could actually do a stream like that. I was thinking actually when we start doing a bunch of art for the game that you could probably hop on Halogen and then we could actually like, make some art and stuff. Okay, so your choice is this one now. And I think we're now officially at the point where the choices become more dangerous. We've done our openings, and we have our openings. I mean, this one's way more than an opening, but most of the others are open now. And now it's a matter of like everywhere you go here. Awesome, thanks, Halogen. Well, we'll figure at some point. I mean, the the other thing is, the more distracted I get about about random topics, the less my game actually gets developed. But we'll see. Um, yeah, most anywhere you can play here now leads to an imbalance somewhere else on the board. So you got options where if you go here, here, or here, I get to set up a threat. Here or here, I also get to set up a threat and maybe work against you. That's the only one I don't get to set up a threat because this is the only one I have um no thing is. Oh, you're saying it is my turn to choose an imbalance? Yeah, okay, cool, cool, cool. That makes sense. So you go bottom left, and then I go here. Yeah. So, okay. I was nearly going to go bottom middle because this one's very bad for you. Because if you go top left to block me, I get to build something. Bottom left, I get to build something. Middle and right are all good for me. Except I don't develop anything in this square if I go bottom left because I'm not blocking any of yours. So top left, I just let you get involved there. Bottom left, I let you build a threat. Middle, middle, I could let you start on the middle. Or on the right, I let you build. Yeah, yeah, right. So you're putting the onus back on me to try to find something. Okay, so what if I go top left? You have to play up here. You could try to block me. Oh, you know what? Top left is actually pretty good. Because all of the places where you could block my kind of future development are somewhere that I can then take an advantage from. So, see how we go. Yeah, right. Still not super in the zone with the strats for this game. I can fully understand that. Um, as I said before, super interesting game because it goes beyond human capable. So this is another thing that I studied a lot, which is human cognition, and obviously this helps a lot for teaching. Is how much can a human brain take before it gets overloaded? And I'm quite happy to say that this game is too much. So this game is right like smack bang in one of the areas that's beyond our capability to figure out, which is the number of turns that are going to happen in the future, which is up to 81. The spatial separation between strategic elements, because every time you play it moves somewhere else, right? The cognitive load of the number of objects we can we can keep track of at a time. Like, we could keep track of 9 different objects at a time. That's a stretch, but it's possible. But because each one is also made up of 9 different objects, which is then connected in abstract ways, they're not spatially connected in a nice way. This goes way beyond human cognition. And it's always really interesting to see when something goes beyond human cognition, but stays entirely within machine cognition. So the thing that makes it hard for machines is branching factor. And this thing has a branching factor of 9 reducing, which is really easy for a computer to map out like nearly the entire future. Whereas humans, we hit a weird cognitive limit here where we can't handle it. Sometimes we're actually better with intensely complex things. Hey, Mitchell! Oh, you forgot it was on. Well, you're here now. You can take part in the game now, which is really awkward because we're like partway through. So you can see what's happening. So this is Nineboard Tic Tac Toe. And the interesting thing is where someone plays determines which board the person plays on next. So I just played in the top left corner here. Oh, you and Mitchell met up in person last week? Oh, that's so cool. It's giving 4D chess, yeah. So X, which is all of you, can play in the top left one at the moment. And whichever space you play in is the board that I will play in next. And in order to win this, you've got to win on one of the on 3 of these boards in the same way as tic tac toe to try to win 3 in a row of the boards by winning the individual boards, and that's how you win the whole game. So we went on a journey today, Mitchell, where of course I got completely sidetracked, and instead of coding the game, we started talking about the history of AI, and then to more recent history of AI game playing stuff, which is obviously triggered me into a whole kind of massive thing because game playing AI has been something that I've done a lot of, like spent a lot of time and research on and stuff like that. And so we got to this game, which is one of my favorite because it's particularly outside the cognitive limits of humans, but it's actually really easy for computers to play. Okay, so what are we doing? Nightcakes is in between rounds, but going back in. But good luck to us. Entirely accidentally, just sat down. He asked if you were Halogen from Marc's stream. Wait, how? Chat win, chat win. Surely you win with 3 whole humans. Yes, that's true. Because if I start to lose, I'm just going to start erasing things from the board because I have control over it. I'm not. Okay, so where would you like to mark an X in the top left? It's interesting. I'm kind of getting back into the feel of how this game worked and understanding why it was so interesting to people, because I think when you finish your first round of a game like this, you instantly want to try again because you're kind of, you know that you didn't get it entirely, and you're like, oh, that's how that panned out, and then you kind of keep going. Halogen said, surely the play is to have 10 people on a team, 1 for each small board and 1 for the big board. That would be interesting because then you're not playing, and this is the funny thing, right? As someone who studied humans for a very long time, you're no longer playing strategy for the game. You're seeing how hard it is to run a small business. You were like, everyone would be saying there's an emergency in my little area. Except you can't decide which area gets played next because that's my decision. So each player is actually making decisions for each other about where they get to play. So the person running the big board won't have enough control to say, okay, where should we be putting our attention and all this kind of stuff. So that's good. Oh yes, Mitchell, you are crosses, and we're currently playing in the top left one. So for example, if you were to play bottom middle, I would then play in the bottom middle one, and then I'd choose where in this one. So I'll just delete those two because those are things we haven't chosen. But yeah, so where you play decides which board I play on next. Yeah, my move decides what board you play on. Your move decides what board I play on. And we've all been avoiding the middle because we don't want to give the other team the opportunity to dominate the middle. Because as we all know, the middle is where you can form the most options in tic-tac-toe. Mitchell. Yes. Yeah, right. And as I was saying, cognitive limits get hit in really specific ways, quite easily. And this is why, as an educator, you put a whole lot of effort into trying to make things not go beyond people's cognitive limits. So you can take a really complex thing and break it down into really simple parts, and then people will be able to learn it. But if you take a really complex thing and just dump it on people, then they don't learn it. Because like it doesn't really matter how smart people are. Cognitive limits are different from our actual like sort of level of intelligence or whatever, which is based more on our experience and our context and things like that. Whereas like cognitive limits are right on the edge of a physical limitation for people. Mitchell's saying, does this not end up being like other noughts and crosses where it ends in a draw? Yeah, it can. Very much so. Because the same setup in the finish of who wins what is is likely to end up in a draw. Once, and also, the more that we've played and the more of these, see, if I lose this one here, then we end up in a situation where it's easier for us to calculate everything else because we already know one thing's already finished. So as it gets more stuff completed, it's more likely to end in a draw because it's more likely that both teams will fully understand the situation. And humans, when they fully understand the situation, can play much better. And when two people are playing at their maximum kind of capability in tic-tac-toe, it does end in a draw. Okay, Halogen's saying possibility is middle left. If he blocks our diagonal, he sends us to the middle. Yeah, that's a good strategy. Or are there ways to trap people now? There are ways to trap people. Trying to figure out which moves would make Marc's decisions the hardest. That's what Halogen's trying. Don't you want to force him to choose that square? Yeah, so the other option is, if you choose this square, I block you. But if you put me somewhere else, where like here, where I want to choose that square, or here where I want to choose that square, I give you a win. So either you give up your advantage, or in order to get the advantage in the middle, or you save this one to force me to send you there at some point in the future. So it's a tough call, right? Halogen, I'm not trying to win, I'm just trying to annoy him. Mitchell saying, so we can have multiple turns in the same square before the opponent. Yeah, if your opponent keeps sending you to the same space, then you will basically guarantee that you will win that space. Because all it takes is three goes in a space, and you win it. So if the person sends you to the same space 3 times, it's all yours. Nightcakes is looking at bottom middle. What did Halogen think before? You were saying middle left or bottom middle, both of those. Don't worry too. And Nightcakes is saying sack the center, as in I think don't worry too much about the center just yet, because it's not important until end game. You ignore Marc by turning the middle into a tie. If the middle ends up a tie, it's really hard for anyone to win. Bottom middle is Nightcakes is saying bottom middle is fine because it gives me an advantage here. And most of the places where I can give myself an advantage will allow you to take an advantage. Are we locking in bottom middle? See what Mitchell and Halogen think. Turn one square into a Marc square. That is another thing that you can do, is if you give me bottom middle, you can then go around to all of these and mark all the bottom middle on all of them, knowing that because I've already won, it doesn't matter how many circles I get here. And it kind of gives you an advantage because I waste a lot of moves. So it will totally work. That's what you're saying, right? Internally lock him in there until it is full. Okay, so that's what we're doing. Bottom middle, and I'm in here now. So I would like to win this, but I would like to win this in a way that doesn't lose me something else. So if I go bottom left, you get an advantage. If I go top left, you get an advantage. If I go middle, it's kind of fine. If I go right, you also get an advantage. So this is really good. This was a good move, bottom middle for you, because everything that I can do to try to develop space here gives you an advantage somewhere else. So I'm gonna go middle. Okay, Nightcakes is going back to Overwatch. See you soon. All right, I'm gonna go middle. I'm gonna give you this middle because I don't want to give you all of these. Give you an instant threat somewhere else. But now we have two no-go zones. Oh, unless you give this to me and then start just saying I take bottom middle everywhere. Because the thing is, now you know that I will always play middle right, which will allow you to threaten there once you send me to bottom middle. But I did just give up the first move in the center. So, you've got a threat, I've got a threat. We're even, and I have a slight advantage there. But not enough. Oh, you've got a slight advantage there. It's really, really even at the moment. It's like totally locked up. I guess I have a slight advantage here compared to your position here. And that's just one. That's just because I've had one more move than you. Mitchell saying lock me up. If we give it to him, then we can't send him back to bottom middle immediately. Oh, because you know that I'm going to go middle right, and so you can't send me back here. You have to give me some other opportunity. And it's going to have, you're going to want it to be something. Oh, so the way that we are set up here is I can only win top row, you can only win bottom row here. So we're actually really limited in what we can do in this particular square. I think we've both chosen, this square is highly likely to end in a draw because there's so few ways we can win. Top right is another Marc cage. So if you keep sending me to this one and this one, I won't be able to play because I will be locked up. Wait, where are we playing? Oh, we're playing in the center right now, aren't we? Oh, and also top right doesn't connect with bottom middle. So if you give me both of these, it actually is very little advantage for me. I see that. I see that now. Very good. Very good thinking. Okay. So this is me. And all right, so if I go to middle, I give you a threat in the middle, which is bad. Middle left, you win. Top left, I give you a threat. Bottom middle, I give you a weird conundrum. Bottom right, I give you a threat. Top right, I just let you block me. But that sends me to the middle. You know what? I actually think bottom middle is really good here. Because I send you down here. And then this is the place where you were going to give me a win. But now you have to play here. So either you try to block me in somewhere where you were intending to give me a win, or you don't block me here, and then uh you try to somehow send me back here, but then you've wasted a turn here. Top right again. Oh wait, Halogen, you said top right. Was that talking about this was talking about the previous turn, right? Not talking about this one top right. Not here, right? I'm not sure when you said that. Oh, I need to turn on timestamps. Timestamps doesn't help me because I don't know what time it was when I was talking. But anyway. That was previous. Yeah. Okay. You are here. Oh, wait. I'm just going to control Z here because you didn't. Mitchell saying do it again, surely. So you're thinking top right to send me here? Or you could send me back to this one, bottom middle. Do it again is very funny. Actually, you're saying top right? This kind of works because, yes, I will win this one, but I will send you somewhere where you get an advantage. So I win here. So that is one win for green. But now you get to play down here and you can build this row here that you're trying to build. So you can either send me to the middle or send me to the left. Sending me to the left sends you back to the middle again. So that's a strategy you could use. Or sending... Because I think with that one there and me at the bottom, you've only got one line you can win on here. It depends if you're trying to win, right? Or you go bottom middle. This is a very interesting strategy. I've not thought of playing it this way. So you're just going to bounce between these two until you have so much control over the rest of these boards, you can just win all of them. That might be a completely viable strategy. Like, I'd not really thought about strategy in this game. Because you want to waste my turns. So if you go top right, then my turn is wasted. If you go bottom middle and I win, then my turn's wasted again. Bottom middle cages me in visually. Right, because then I can't make anything of this one. Or I'd have to make the diagonal for this one. Or top right again. It's interesting, actually. Like, you're playing a long game. Like, you don't even need to win any of these. You can just force me into these two cages forever. Bottom middle starts a new line. We're playing on this one, right? Because I played bottom right here. So Mitchell is saying bottom middle. You don't want me in the middle or the middle left. Right, so you don't want to try to win this one. You just want to force me into my little cages. And Halogen's saying bottom middle as well. Top right starts two new ones. Top right's interesting because yeah, I can't go anywhere, the top six. I can't go anywhere that's not good for you. So either I give you a win here or a threat in all of those. Or I send you back to this one again, which is, I guess, also viable. So you can send me up here or here. Here, it's kind of easy because you know what I'm going to do. I'm going to try to win. Well, maybe. Or I start playing your game against you. And I don't win. And I do other things instead. Oh, wait. Are we talking new Marc lines or new Owl lines? Maybe top right. No idea. They need voice chat. See, the advantage is I can just speak all the thoughts and I can talk strategy that like tries to force strategy into your heads. Okay, so I think you're thinking between top right and top middle. You need a voice chat where I can't hear you. Oh, but it's not as much fun if you're not talking there. I think we need the chat history here of the things you've been thinking. This is so funny. I can't believe but Nineboard Tic Tac Toe is a classic because it's like a perfect amping up of tic tac toe. Okay, make your choice. Make your choice. Mitchell saying top right. Halogen. It's funny if we see you try to decipher what our strategy is. Yeah, yeah. It's kind of cool because you go, okay, here are our options, and I'm like, okay, this is what I think will happen with those options. But then, do I actually know how this game works? Like, yes, I vaguely studied it in the past. That doesn't mean I understand how it works. So it's like top right kind of has me waste a turn because I'll play here where I have no benefit of playing here because I've already won there. I think that's what Mitchell's strategy is. So if I play top right, I get no benefit because I'll have a turn that's wasted because it's not building threat anywhere else. And bottom middle, I think, was to cut off my play in the bottom right corner and to give me the one that you thought you were going to give me anyway, and it allows you to then start playing here. Having said that, you've both said top right, yeah? Should I just go top right? Should I go top right? It feels like if we do want to finish this game before the stream wraps up, we should probably play. I'm going to go top right because you're both reasonably positive about top right. But say something now if you don't want to. Mitchell says he likes bottom middle more. Halogen, you get final say. I'm going to delete that just in case you say, because if Halogen now says bottom middle, then we go bottom middle. Ah, you can't be okay with either. You've got to make the call. No. Bottom middle. Okay, bottom middle it is. All right. Bottom middle, because I'm very predictable here, right? I'm very predictable. I will go middle right, which will give you the advantage here. But you will go bottom left or bottom right, which will give me the advantage on one of these two. So that's fine. All right. You are now middle right, and I've taken 2 boards, but you have significant advantage in this whole area here. You've also still got this, and this, so you have 3 different ways to win. So I haven't cut off that many angles because the middle not as strong as the corners, I think. Okay, so middle right, you probably want to threaten, but both of those gives me a threat there. If not, you could go like top right and send me to a not so useful place again. That's what Halogen's thinking, top right. Mitchell, what are you thinking? Also, top right cuts off one of my ways to win on this board. Oh no, that cuts off all of my ways to win on this board. Because I have this, can only win across the top or the vertical, and I can't win the vertical. So that would actually mean this board is toast for me. If you go here, this piece is now useless. So you've actually wasted this move and the next move I'm about to make up there. All right, and if I send you to the middle right, I'm now out of the cage. You have to give me a good move because you've already sent me from this one to both of those. Let me just get rid of that one because you haven't decided on that yet. Surely bottom right and you gain center control. Oh, if you go bottom right, I'm forced to play here and I will likely give you center. Well, I won't necessarily because I can still play the top left here in order to threaten this one. Oh, hi, Nightcakes. Must be end of the round that you were playing. Where are we? We're middle right, yeah, because I played middle right to win this one. So it's interesting that like I need to like have an arrow for where we are. Yeah, you're playing in between rounds. Nice, nice. How is Overwatch nowadays? I haven't played it in years. I feel like I played it when it came out a lot and then it just sort of dropped off for me. And when they never did the co-op stuff, I wanted to play co-op because I like playing co-op shooters. I play a lot of Dark Tide, played Space Marine, Left 4 Dead, and all that kind of stuff. Mitchell's liking top right, kind of meh. Nightcakes. I feel like there's a lot of games that we play that we're kind of caught in and that we play a lot. Um, and call it? And we're just addicted to it, so we just keep playing. I feel like by the end I was like that with Destiny 2. I wasn't genuinely enjoying it. It turned into a chore that I was playing. It's kind of funny because I play a lot of gacha games, so I play a lot of games that have dailies and stuff like that. But for some reason, the gacha games don't quite feel as chory. I actually don't know if they don't feel like chores or I'm so addicted that I feel like they don't. Okay, Halidon bottom right gives a nice set of options, but top right is so funny. Yeah, I feel like they're all similar. So bottom right allows me to create a threat on the bottom right. Top right means I don't get anything useful and I get cut off from this one. Mitchell wants to save bottom right for later. Nightcakes is leaving it. Nightcake says go top right. Mitchell wants to leave bottom right for later to force something. Okay, top right. So this is now rather interesting. So do I have any options that are good in the top right? I can't make anything of it. So top left here is bad. You get a threat. Top middle, you get a threat. Top... What? Top right? Interesting. If I play top right, then you have to give me something. That's like my only option, right? Middle left is bad. You'll win that immediately. Middle's really bad. And middle right, oh, you won't win. But I could give you this one that you've already kind of want. No, actually, this is the best move. Yes. Yeah, I didn't look at that. I didn't look at that. That's a really fun one because now you waste a move, giving me an advantage. Yes, you have fallen into my trap. The trap I didn't see either, but you know. I love it. That was only thinking 2 moves ahead, and I wasn't thinking that far ahead. But I should have just looked at all 6 possibilities for myself and just been like, yeah, that's great. Because you made the trap for me, and just like down here, I make you play in the trap as well. And you also get no benefit here. But one of these 5, all of these 5 give me some good option. Mitchell, oh, you did see that. Right, right. Oh, so you knew that I would probably do this. Right, you just need me to waste this move. Next Mark trap. Because here, you'll kind of force me to play in the middle to shift the advantage. Here, I would play middle or left, both good for you. Oh no, I could play top right or bottom right as well. And bottom right's pretty good for you. Middle sort of comes out in the wash. Middle right, that's good for you too, because I can't develop anything in here right now. Yeah, so you actually got a lot of options here that are good for you. Halogen's thinking that too. Middle right does not give me very much. Neither of us are doing that well middle right. Because you don't have... You've got 2 there, but they're not a threat. And anywhere I play here... Oh, so the trap is double. So I can't play anywhere here to send you to these two. Because I also want to send you to these two where you can't have any effect anymore. And I can't because you've already done that to me here. So you play middle and you're reasonably safe. You play left, it's not great. Oh, but we're playing up here now, aren't we? Yeah, yeah. Mitchell saying maybe we run it back. I'm not sure which place you mean by run it back. Halogen saying middle right doesn't give me very much. Middle right? Okay, I think you've both said middle right. So we go middle right. Okay, now I need to give you something. So if I go bottom right, you then cut me off here permanently. Because then there'll be no way for me to win, and you'll have so many ways to win down here. If I go middle, I give you a threat. If I go middle right, then you can build a threat here. Middle left, you win. Bottom left, you build a threat. I want to play in either of those two, but I can't. And top middle is kind of... Yeah, this is awkward. Alright. Let's assume I can't win this one. If I go middle left, you will win this one, but then you let me go into the center. This is awkward, it's perfect. 100% ending in a tie. You can see it already. Yeah, yeah. Because we're all spending a lot of time thinking about it, so that will give us the chance. Okay, I'm gonna go middle left because that puts you over here. And then if you take the win, I get into the middle. Secret plan activate. Top right. Top right. Oh wow. Halogen is very emphatic, and Mitchell says yes. So we are going top right. Oops, that's still an eraser. So we're going top right. And now yeah, now you've got many places to win here. And everything I can play here gives you something positive. So I waste a move here, giving you advantage somewhere. So I'm going to play middle left. Because if you want to put a whole bunch of extra moves there, I'm okay with it. You can put extra moves there. So you can win on any of these three squares. So this one, or this one. You could actually do middle right and dump me in here again where I can't do anything. So we're back here again after I played middle left. Or you can put me up in the top middle where everything's sort of open. Halogen's liking middle right because I don't get very much out of that, which is fair enough. Mitchell's thinking bottom middle because that also puts me somewhere where I can't do anything. You're still not going to win that one. You're just going to maintain a massive advantage but not actually win. Because bottom middle allows me to not. I can't send you back here again to waste more time. I can send you back to this one though. So you can't waste my move because I can waste your move immediately with the same into the same place. Or you can win this one. Top middle is not too bad. Middle right. That then actually gives me an advantage again over here. And middle, you kind of don't want to send me there, right? Because then we're even in the middle. It's very interesting. So I like it now because the field is tightening and everywhere is sort of fraught with danger. So I think your choices are like, do you win this one now, or do you try to make my life awkward? This is quite fun. Practically one left middle, it doesn't matter. Yeah. So you're going to pretend that you've won already, and then just use it to send me somewhere else. Doesn't have an existing advantage in top middle, but he's got heaps of options. Oh, so if you send me top middle, I can then send you somewhere like over here or here, where your moves can't help. Or I just send you back here and be like, I've now trapped you in this spot where you spend too many moves to only win one square. Yeah, so if you play top middle, I can send you a time waster. So Mitchell's saying bottom middle, because that sends me to a time waster. And I can send you somewhere bottom here or top two. I like how it gets constricted. I could send you to this one, which I've already lost, and then you can waste some time there. Or I can send you back to this one. That's probably my best option. So Mitchell's saying bottom middle. Is Halogen... Have you picked one yet? No, not yet. This is kind of fun. Oh, I can't believe we are actually. I'm actually not going to end up doing a coding tonight. We're burning the whole stream on playing games. But honestly, this is a lot of fun. And after this, I'll show you another one, which is I think a one that I like as a cognitive kind of exercise. But you may have already seen it because you're UNSW students. Okay, Halogen saying bottom middle is the most fun, and Mitchell also said bottom middle, so let's put bottom middle. So you're making it so that middle left is just like, it's yours, guaranteed. Okay, so I play bottom middle. I actually think I've only got one option here, is to send you back to bottom middle. Because all the other things, right? Top middle, you get an advantage. Top left, you get an advantage. Bottom left, you get an advantage. Bottom right, you get an advantage. This is the only thing that doesn't immediately give you an advantage. And you then have to give it to me. So that's a decent option, I think, for me. Okay, you are back here, and you have 4 choices now. So now we get to the point where there's few enough choices in some of these where you have a complete idea of what's going to happen. So top middle, I get all the options. Top left, I will have less options, and I will obviously try to set something up. Bottom left, I will also try to set something up on that or that. Bottom right, I will try to get an advantage on here. Bottom right is least advantage. Yep, okay. Yeah, because bottom right, I have the least choice of what I'm going to do. So, you said bottom right. So, I'm tempted to send you top right, but that builds nothing here. And I kind of want to try to win this. So if I go middle, I'm in a huge amount of trouble here. And I can never go for the middle again. If I go top left, you will build an advantage, and I can't go top left again. Mitchell's calling it. Says I'm gonna go top right. Because if I go top right, you give me one of these three. And then I can build an advantage top left, top middle, or middle. Just don't give him ideas. Watch, get ready. So top right's pretty good because you give me, and all three of these are good because I could win this way or this way. I also have a potential win this way if I can get some more advantage in these two. And I have a win across the bottom or across the top. So there's a lot of options here. Wait, where am I playing at the moment? You did bottom right, isn't it? Yeah. Let me just... Okay. So if I play middle, you get an advantage in the middle, but I get a threat on this one. And if I do top left, you get an advantage in the top left. And then you can send me to one of these annoying ones. Top middle doesn't do anything for me here. Top right. Top right is looking very good, Mitchell. But even I could potentially sacrifice middle in order to try to build this. And this. Top left gives me that and that. Oh, yeah, it's such a brain burn. I can't think far enough ahead. You know what? I'm gonna go. But then if I go middle, you can just send me to the bottom, and then I have to give up something. If I go top left, you can send me to top right, and then I have to give up something. Yeah, you're right. You were right. You were right. I could have just done what Mitchell said at the beginning. Although, I don't know. I've already done it, so I'm going to let it happen. But I don't actually know if that was good because I've developed nothing here. So I haven't threatened anything here. Mitchell saying middle top because that gives you a kind of a no-loss situation there. Nightcakes also says middle top. Halogen. What do you think? Candidate is here because you don't lose very much there. If Nightcakes agrees, okay, let's go with that. Okay, now I have lots of options. So I could do something silly like I go send you here. Oh, I can send you to either of these. So if I send you to top right, you have to give me advantage here or let me play in the center. If I send you to this one, you can send me back to this one, or to this one, or to this one. All of which, both of those are good options for me. I'm going to go top right. Now, you're back here again, and you get to send me to the middle or the top left. Mitchell saying top left. Nightcake says top left. I guess you don't want to lose that middle, do you? Top left. Okay. Game's getting quicker now because there's less options. So I'm at top left. Okay, if I send you to top right again, then I get to go to the middle. Where else could I go? There's actually a lot of options. Top middle. I can let you play in this one again, so I could turn this into like a dumping ground. I could play middle, giving you the middle. I don't think that would be good. Or I could play middle left, getting you to play in here again. I actually think sending you back here is really good, because then you put me in here. And I get a threat here. So that is my call. Yep, there we go. All right, you have no choice now. So you're playing middle. And now I am playing in the middle. And it's interesting how this game works, that this one is all played out, which means the top right corner. Wait, why is there no top right corner here? Because I was going to say the top right corner should be played out everywhere. Oh, there's no top right corner here because this was probably the first thing that I played. Because usually when something's full, it means you can no longer play there. Which means this one here is really weird. I must have started here. Yeah, which means we can't play there. Unless we end the game there, we can't play there. I think, yeah, or I've screwed it up. And the first play is supposed to be middle, I think. I'm not sure. Hi, Ryan, how's it going? We are in the depths of a very interesting multiple tic-tac-toe game. It's because I started top right. Yeah, Mitchell? I must have, right? Whereas I think you actually can't start top right. I think you have to start middle, because that's the only one that sends to itself or something like that. Yeah. It works out as long as the first place is the same as the square you start with. Yeah, forced to start middle, or if you're starting this one, you have to start top right. If you start this one, you middle right. If you send to yourself, then it's okay. So yeah, we have a square that neither of us can play in now. Because that will, I don't know, break the game. Or if anyone plays in this thing, I'm just gonna put a circle, a squiggle here. If anyone plays in this one, it'll have to go back to this one, I guess. I don't know. I'm just gonna leave that as it is and hope we don't get to that. Okay, so I think I need to send you to this dead zone or this, because this will force you to win this one, sending me here, here, or here, or the middle, which is just as bad for you. Or I can use this one for you to bounce me somewhere. I'm gonna go bottom middle, because that sends you here. And then you have to send me somewhere where I either win something or I play in the black hole and ruin the game. Oh. Keep the last top right as a win condition shortcut. Ryan, first time here in a while. This game's... Oh, awesome. Nice to see you again after I don't know how long it's been. Yeah, so this is a weird version of tic-tac-toe where every time you play, it sends someone to another tic-tac-toe game, and then I'm playing against chat at the moment, so if they go bottom left, then I will play in the bottom left one. If they go top left, I will play here, or top middle, I will play there. Mitchell's thinking bottom left. There's only 3 choices, so highly likely. I mean, the other two, I mean, top left seems like the worst one for you to do, really. Not be funny if we convince him to let the blue square be instant win. But you shouldn't do that because you're about to send me there, and then if I play it, then it's over. I actually wonder where this should go, because it can't go there. Bottom left? All right. It looks like we are doing bottom left, and then I have an interesting decision of that square should send to the middle. Oh, okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, there's 7 ways to send to the middle. Top left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's correct. This is funny because there's 9 there, but there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 have sent there. So I don't know what happens if we play here. Because the game can't continue. So that's the problem. I reckon actually middle had to be the first play. And then it works. Oh, you know what would be funny? Is if someone plays here, the other person has to play middle, and then it sort of balances out. It's genuinely bottom left, is it? So this has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, you're right. Yep, my starting move was in the bottom left, and there's nothing that's sent here. So if you play in this one, the other person plays in this same thing. Okay, let me... Oops. I'm gonna make a little symbol that says this corner leads back to here. It doesn't lead up there. Okay, so I'm playing here. I can't play the top right. I mean, I could. My starting move was here, right? So we haven't been sent here. Okay, but bottom middle's good because then this leaves you with these two. Middle, not so good. That gives you lots of options to send me to random places. Top right sends you back here, which means you'd probably go top middle to block me. Or not. Or send me to this one or something. No, I gotta send you to this one. I gotta send you to the horrible place where you have to give me one of these two. Well, not this one, but you'd give me this one, and then this one would be a, I'd get to build up. Mitchell likes top middle. You really don't like top left, right? Because top middle is like, at least gives you a chance. I don't know what happens if you win this after I win this. I think you don't win. I should have looked up more of the rules, but I didn't even know we were gonna do this tonight. Okay, top middle. Top middle allows me to build a threat, and I need to decide where. So if I build a threat in the top middle, you can just instantly stop it. If I go middle, it's not building a threat. If I go top left, you can stop me and send me somewhere not very useful. Okay, so top row is not very good. Middle doesn't do anything for me, so middle right, you don't get to win. Bottom right, you don't get to win either. No, this is pretty good. This is pretty good for me. So, if I send you to the bottom right, you can send me to the middle, bad for you. You can send me back here and I win. Well, don't win, but I'll win this board, so you wouldn't do that. Top left, I'd win that board. Middle left, you could send me to the middle left. Yeah. Although, actually, you don't want me going to the middle left, because then I'll build a threat here, and then suddenly that's dangerous for you when you thought you had that. And if you send me to the bottom left, I will then build a threat there as well. So bottom right's very good for me. Okay. You are here now. And you can build multiple threats here if you went into the center. But then I would build threat in the center. Mitchell saying you don't win, you think. Wowza. Do you think that the strategy has shifted against you at this point? I'm actually feeling really good about this top row now. There's a chance I could win now because anything sends up here and I win. Middle, not as good. Right-hand side, not as good. Bottom, not as good. So that's my threat at the moment. You have middle row here. Or the diagonal. But the diagonal's harder because I'm threatening up there. But you could block that. One move and you block that and create your own threat. Okay, Halogen's saying middle, or bottom left. Mitchell likes bottom left. Because that sends me here. Nightcake says middle left. Or send me somewhere where there's less control. So I would send you down here, or up there, or middle, or middle right. Because bottom left gives me the bottom row. That's what Nightcakes thinks. I don't have the bottom row because I have no advantage over here. The bottom right, these bottom right two are really interesting because we've both played twice here, but there's zero threat for either of us here. So these are really undeveloped spaces, the bottom two here. Whereas threat here, threat here, threat here, it's kind of undeveloped, and those two are over. Sacrifices must be made. Okay, where are we thinking? You're in a bind here. So you got 5 options. Top left, I think, is definite no. Yeah. Top middle, also definite no. So it's got to be one of these 3. Nightcakes, what happened in the top right? So they tried to trap me up here by giving me a win early and then sending me back here, but I ended up sending them here more. So they got more wasted moves than I did. So I think, what is it? Halogen, yeah. We tried to waste his turns there, but he wasted ours in return. Yeah. I think once you let me win there, I just kept sending you back there, and then the same thing happened down here as well. So I ended up sending you to this one after you'd set the trap for me. In that case, you all got played hard. Yeah, I think I got away with these. And also, you hanging on to this one and not finishing it, I think... I don't know if it's a mistake. We'll see. Because you've probably still won this. Because I can't go middle left anywhere now. But then I've built both of these, so I don't need middle left. So we'll see. Nightcakes Nightcakes has given up on you two. Okay. What's your play? I think middle left you could, because I would play somewhere in this middle line to build up a threat. So you could see where you'd go next. Maybe you'd get advantage in the middle or on the right, which is actually very good for you because the middle line is the only way that you're going to win. So if I try to build a threat on this one, you would get an advantage in one of these two, which is your win condition, I guess. Middle, that's not so good because then I'd start threatening the middle line. Bottom left you could, because I don't have as much on these two lines. Allergens, okay, winning was never the goal. The real win was the weird Marc decisions on the way. Yes. Okay. You have what looks like to me 5 bad options. The top is all bad. Nightcakes is looking at middle left because it pushes me to give you an advantage on one of these two. Mitchell's saying bottom left because I get an advantage here and it's not worth as much. Algen doesn't want to be the tiebreaker. Mitchell's also saying middle gives you a really strong advantage on this square, and then I will start building an advantage in here. And it's interesting because there's not a lot of places I can play here, which is good, because I will not play top middle here, because I'd give away this. I could play bottom left, though, or bottom right, because I don't care about bottom right. It's done for. Yeah, if you do middle, and I do bottom right here, then you win down here. No, Mitchell's changing to left middle. Which is, left middle is what Nightcake said, was it? Mid left, yes. Okay. And if we go bottom left, I'll just send you to bottom right again. Yeah, because bottom left gives you no advantage. It doesn't give you a threat in this one. Okay, so we are talking middle left, which is good because now you will win this if I go to... So this means the bottom right is unsafe for me to play in now. Oops. Yeah, so if I play bottom right, you win that one. If I play middle left, I can't play middle left, so I can't give you the win there. Oh, I could play top right and send you back here, but then you can build a threat and I can't. So, okay, middle gives me a threat here and sends you to the middle, which is not good for me. Bottom right gives you a win. Middle right gives you a kind of a nothing. It's bad for you there. Bad for you there. Not so bad for you there. Actually very good, because then you'll cut off all my possibilities. So middle right's not so good. Bottom right gives you a win. Top right gives you this one. Bottom left brings you to here. And then you would have to block me there. Or you just send me to this one, which is like a kind of dead space. Ooh, interesting. Oh, the name of the game, Halogen, is Nineboard Tic Tac Toe. Oh wait, I'm on middle left. Sorry, not bottom left. You're right, you're right. Oh, I nearly screwed everything up. Yes. Very good, Nightcakes. That would have been really awkward. I was doing all this thinking about being here. So middle left, I have two good options, which is to try to threaten this board, which is the board that you should have won, and if I threaten it, that makes it very dangerous for you. And I can only do that with the middle or the right. In the middle gives you a threat here. The right gives you a threat here. I'm going to go right. Because I don't think bottom left does anything for me. That gives you a threat and nothing for me. And top middle gives away my goodness. Okay, that's my move. Yes, thank you, Nightcakes. That would have been very awkward, because I would have thrown the whole game into chaos. Online implementations of it lock off the one boards entirely. Oh! So once this is won... So once I won this one, then no one can play bottom middle anywhere else. That's interesting. Because that means that, like, you couldn't win this. Because this is already won. There would be places you couldn't play. That's strange. I don't remember that. Then again, over 10 years ago, there could very well be rules that I can't remember. That's what Nightcakes thought originally. If you select a one board, then it's a free go at any square. Oh, and that would shorten the game. Yeah, that totally would. Well, we're accidentally playing the super long version of this game. Okay, where did I just play? I played middle right, so you're here. So bottom right gives me very few options. And gives you a threat here. It also means this is a total lost cause for me. Because there's no... Oh no, I could just still win on the left-hand side. Yeah. Okay. Bottom right. Two people thinking bottom right. Can both players have a win on the board? No, one player... Whoever wins first wins the board. But I think so. I'm now questioning all the rules. I don't know. Yeah, Mitchell's also saying whoever won first. We're making it up as we go along. Who knows? This could just be like completely random, unbalanced. Okay, bottom right I think is really good for you because you can win this in two different places. And also sends me to a board which is basically useless for me. Because this board has not been good for me for ages. So I don't want to play these. You know what's really funny though? If I send you to this one and you block me, I then win this one. Because I could make it so to block me here, you have to send me back to here, so I get two plays in a row, and I win this one that I shouldn't be able to win. And then I'm threatening here and here by giving up this. Or if I play in the middle, you can send me to not those. There's bad for you. You could send me back to this one again. That's not actually that bad for me, because then I can set up a threat up here or here. Anyway. Middle. You'd build there or there. Bottom left, you could send me to the middle or to the right again. So if I play bottom left, then you can play here. Which means you'd probably send me... Oh no, you send me here, I win. You'd send me to here, and I don't win anything. Oh, you're saying if I play here, then I threaten having this square. Because I don't want to play... I think actually one of the funniest things that I could do is play this and give up this one to instantly win this one. But I don't know if that's the best idea. Because then I'd have to try to win this, and that one's chaos. And that one has so few spaces left to win, and most of them are yours. Wait, what are you saying at the moment? Middle right. There's no middle right here. Also, it is my turn as well, so I've got to pick one here. Yeah, right. I was like, Yes, Mal just like, I no longer know what Mitchell is talking about. I think you were trying to play one of the other squares, Mitchell. Was it this one? Because I put the blue arrow on it? Okay. So bottom left gives you... you can put me on these. Because you only have one line you can win on there. Thought you knew previous square. Yeah, yeah. All right. Top left sounds interesting because you would block me and I could win here. Actually, don't think I should do that. Middle. That one doesn't give me anything. So, bottom left it is. It's nearly like the game's playing me now. Like, it's like there's no particular strategy. So, everything's kind of going for obvious moves instead. So, this is now a very dangerous zone because if anyone plays to the bottom right corner now, one of the two of us will win immediately. Well, not win, but we'll win this board. This board and this board are now sudden death boards. This one isn't. That's yours, and these two are mine. Well, not yet, but one move. You win this. One move, I win these. One move, either of us wins these. And I think these may shift the whole game in a sense. So it depends where you want to go here. Do you want to threaten this one? Mitchell Nightcakes both said middle right because middle right gives me very few options. I'll go with a 2 out of 3 because we'll be here a long time otherwise. So now this is yours. Okay, so now you've got advantage on this one and this one. I have advantage on this one, and there's 2 sudden deaths. So now we're actually really really even at this point. Because you've sent me somewhere where I can't... Okay. If I build threat, here, 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 or anywhere I go, I build threat. So if I go here, you win. This one. And I don't even win down there when you do that. If I go in the middle, you just get to build threat in the middle. But you guarantee something goes down after that if I go middle, middle. Because anywhere you go there, I will take a square. Oh, except for the middle again. Oh no, bottom left is also safe. No, there's plenty of safe places. So you if I go middle, you can't play the top row, or the left, or the right, or the bottom right. You can play the bottom left. You'll be forced to play bottom left because everything else is a win. Is a tile one for me. And if you go bottom left, then I can go middle again to threaten the bottom left, which will give you the middle. And you'll put me in the middle, which is, oh, that's bad. Top left, I give that away. And then you'll get the threat here and block mine. And I will win this one by going middle. And then we're in that middle combo again. Oh, this is very interesting. If I go middle right, you win. Top left, we go into that weird gambit. Middle, we go into that. Bottom left, you win. So it's got to be top left or middle. Top left, I sacrifice this in order to win this. Gosh. My brain is on fire at the moment. Like, I am like borderline headache from like all of the like... I feel like I go middle, and then I just give you the difficult thing. No, you just go bottom left. Then I send you back to the middle, and then you win the middle, and then I win here. Would I win there? Okay, wait. If I send you to the middle, you send me to the bottom left, I would then have to build a threat here. You'd have to get back to the middle somehow. Yeah, if I go middle, you go middle. And then I'd have to send you somewhere where you would win, because there's nowhere that you don't win. Oh, the top. Oh no, but then I lose. Oh, this is yeah, nearly anything I do is a chain reaction, so let's go for it. Okay, I go middle. Are you going straight to the middle? Nightcakes is thinking middle. Because you really only have middle or bottom left. Everything else I will win a thing. Because all of these and that. Because they're all very dangerous. Okay. So Halogen and Nightcakes both said middle. So I can go bottom left to block your middle. And then you win bottom left. In fact, everywhere I go, you win. We're full end game now. So it depends which thing I want you to win. So if I go bottom right, you will win here, and you will send me to middle. You'll send me to one of these three, which are all on my primary win paths. And this isn't, because of this thing. Oh no, that's a possible win for me as... Oh, okay. No, everything is just... Now it's just weird. It's just like a turn order thing. Okay, so I've got to look at where you will win. So if I go bottom left, you will win here by going to the middle. Then I will win in the middle by going to the bottom right. You will go to the middle again, which means I will have the choice of where to send you. And then you could win here, sending me back to this. Oh, man. I need to force you to send me to somewhere good. Okay, bottom right sends you here. You send me to the middle. I will then immediately win the middle by sending you to the bottom left. You'll send me back to the middle again. And then... It's too much. I do not have the brain to think far enough in advance. So again, this is where a computer now can quite easily calculate the finish, because there's not that much left. But I'm getting bamboozled by all the colors on the screen. It's so few left, right? Halogen's, my brain's on fire, but Halogen's brain isn't, so they've already won in spirit. You've set me off, and now I can't win. Okay, so bottom left is good for me because it means that you no longer threaten the middle. So when you win here to the middle, I will win the middle. Then you win here, which is fine because you can't make that line. And that sends me back to the middle. Screw it, let's go. I don't have the brain left to think this through. Mitchell's realized some weird pattern, but Nightcase is saying 3 brain cells against a big one. I appreciate that you think I have a one big brain cell. Okay, Nightcase middle. Yeah, obviously, you want to win this. And then you send me back to the middle. I take this. And that sends you down there. Now, do you win it immediately? Send me back to the middle where I waste a move? I feel like yes, because there's nothing I can do here to make things worse for you. And then you can send me down here where I can't do anything. Oh no, oh yeah, no, I can't because that one's already won. Yep, people are saying middle. Okay, I'm here. Those top two, I don't want to give that up. Mitchell's saying I like all the live squares. Yeah, stuff is really full on now. If I go middle left, you can win by putting me back here, which is totally fine for you. Top left, you can send me here, which is also very good for you. Top middle, you can block me, and then I would maybe win this, which is not that useful. Right hand side, I can give you this. That's actually really good because you winning this does nothing for you. Because you can't win that and you can't win that. So instead, you might send me down here where I can send you there so that I can win one of those, or send you back to this one because it doesn't matter because you already won it. Where am I playing right now? It's in the middle, isn't it? Yeah. And middle left, you will win this one and then be threatening there. So middle right, I think, is good for me. All right. I gotta remember to draw the arrow where people are. Okay, so you can win this one, but it doesn't help you win the whole game. Or you can send me top left or bottom left. It's so funny, there's so few moves left, but I actually can't tell where this is going to go. It's highly likely it ends in a draw, but it's up to these two. Mitchell saying this is why you didn't want to win bottom left early. We could have forced him there. Oh, maybe. You know, this is the funny thing about having multiple people is you have no grand strategy because if you had a plan for later, then it would have needed something consistent all the way through. Maybe. We'll see. Bottom left, Nightcakes is thinking to send me back here because there's nothing I can do here. Oh wait, it's here. Sorry. Bottom left. Middle right means I have to pick one of these. Oh, you don't want to send me top left right because then I get that and then I'm like threatening both of these lines. Okay, bottom left. So we've cancelled out top left. So it's bottom left or mid right. Both of these is a win for you, but not on a line that is meaningful at this point. Halogen, are you still there? Have we wiped out your brain? Mitchell saying you believe they both do the same, bottom left and mid right. So it doesn't matter. Mal, you're multitasking right now, right? Mitchell saying no, bottom right. Bottom right? Wait, there is no bottom right. We're here, Mitchell. Middle right, and then I'm here. Okay, Nightcakes. Do you think middle right? Halogen thinks mid right. Yeah, all three of you think mid right. Okay. You have now won this one. And now I need to choose to give this away or to send you down here. And then what will you do to me down here? Oh, you can send me to this one because this one's crap. This is where I want to send you because then you give me one of these. Or you can send me back here, which is just as useless for me. Or, no, you don't want to send me top middle. Or you could send me... Oh, there's 2 squares where you can send me here. Let me just... Oh, wait. I'm not there. You did that one, didn't you? I should draw these before, yeah, because you did middle right, which sends me back here. So if I give this up, then you can do this to send me to the bottom right, which gives me nothing. So I really only have bottom left, and then you will either send me back here or to this one. You'll never send me to that one or to this one. I guess I don't really have a choice because I can't go top left. Yeah. Okay, there we go. So you're down here now. And I've given you a lot of options, I think. Bottom left or top left, we send him bottom right. Yeah, that seems like what I would do as well. Because you can kill off both of these. Because if you send me bottom right, I have to send you back to the other one. Oh, not necessarily. We can send you back to the same one and you can win it. Okay, bottom right. So I'm here, and you've kind of trapped me into giving up one of my good spots. So if I go top left, you go bottom right, send me here, then I go top middle, and then you can trash this one as well. And they send me here, and I win this, and that's kind of meaningless. And then you go back up there, and I have to win this. We both have to win this one then. If I choose top middle, we send him right middle. Yeah. You send me here, and then I send you there. And so you get to block both of them. Because right middle's perfect. Is I go here, you block this, sending me here, allowing you to then block this. And if I go top left, you block that, and you send me down here, I send you there, you block that. And then we end up here. And then I'm up here without anything. Oh, wow. I have probably lost this, haven't I? This looks like there's no way out. Or it goes stalemate if I can... Because that doesn't win you these. It loses me them. But it probably goes stalemate, right? I have so little options here. Yeah, both of these ends up with me losing both of these, right? There's no way out of this. Okay, where do I end up after I've lost them? So if I go top left, you go bottom right, I go top middle, you go middle right, I go top left, and then you go bottom left and you win that. And then I end up down here. So if I go there, then you'll send me back here again, I'll send you top middle, you'll win that one as well. It's kind of going a stalemate, isn't it? Yeah, I think both of us now have to try to block. So if I go top middle, You send me middle right, I go top left. You send me bottom right, I send you back up here again, and then you win this one with bottom left, and I get sent. It's the same. It's the same path. Same path ends up with you blocking both of these and me ending up down here with nothing to do. And then you can send me back to this board over and over again until I send you somewhere where you win. Yeah, I think you've got me there. All right, let's just go for top middle because I think that they all end up in the same place. So, you're on the top middle. I assume you're going middle right, yeah, because you did say you had that. I have to disable the top right of the bottom left square. We'll see, we'll see. Because I think it is actually still correct in terms of the number of places that we can play. Okay, so I think at this point your plan was this, right? Because that sends me to a bad place and it blocks my thing there. I have only one option here that sends you back up here. So you can block mine and create a threat here if you want. Oh yeah, that's an auto win. Because if you block mine and create the threat here, I have to play in the top left corner, giving you the win. So this is for then forces this, and then puts you back up here. Unless you don't want to do that. Yeah, Night Cakes is like, it's free. You end up back in the same area, but with mine blocked and you with a threat. Because if you play bottom right, I had to play top left because it was the only square left on this one. And then it sends you back up here, and then you either take the free win, sending me down here, or you do something else if you want to do something else. You want middle bottom. Middle bottom was already played. Or did you want middle bottom back then? I can wind it back if you want. I did a few automatic things because I thought you were going to pick there to send me here, sends you up there, and then you take this freebie that bounces back to the same square. So we're here now. Okay, let me wind back. Okay, this was my move, and this is the move that I think Mitchell's thinking about, is maybe you don't want to just block me off and send me here and you there. That's what I thought was obvious, was this, but it's not necessarily obvious because we've been at this for hours now and I've been overthinking stuff. So if you play here, then I'm forced to play the top left and you get to play up here. I think it's the same situation, but doesn't let you block this one. You want to win top left. Yes, you do. You can definitely force a win on the top left. Whether you block this one at the same time or not is up to you. Because if you go bottom middle, you force me to give you top left, and then you go bottom right, and you force me to give you top left, and then you win. You do the same thing here, because these three are all structured the same. The top left is the only option. So blocking with this sends me up here, right? And that gives you a block there and a win there. Or if you go bottom middle, you don't block me, but you still win there. Yes, you want this one? Yeah, okay, cool. This makes sense. I thought strategically this was locking me out the best. So this brings you up to here. You do this, which forces me to waste my move down here. And then you do this. Then I am stuck down here. And let's just make this clear. That has been won. So I have only one avenue to win here, and it is looking very bad. You have an avenue to win here, and it's looking much better. So I need to stop you getting there. Which is not super hard. So If I go here to send you back to the middle, you can go here to send me back to this one again, and I go middle here, then you get a threat there. And then the game kind of opens up again because you can threaten in any of these. So this one gives you like really open space. Middle gives me kind of a wasted play as well. Top you don't want to do. Top left gives you threat that way. Yeah. Lots of options. So you think I should choose top middle because that gives you a threat there. You can't put the threat here because then I will win this one, blocking off. That guarantees the stalemate. So you can't play middle left. You just need to not let me win here. Which means if you play middle, I can still win across the top. If you play top left, then I've got kind of nothing. I'd have to play all the way down the middle, which is basically impossible. Mitchell said me choosing top middle is inevitable. Because if I choose top right, it goes back here. You choose top bottom left, and then I go there. You're right. Yeah. Because either way, you're sending me up to here. Oh no, I'm sending you up to there. There's no other way. Because if I send you back here, you send me back here, I send you there. Or if I send you there now, you can then, you'll get there, but you can still bounce around back here. It doesn't matter, does it? Because this one's irrelevant. And I think once I play here, there's no way to get back here. Oh no, there is. There's there. Oh yeah. We could end up, we have another square we can never play. Because once we get here, we're stuck in a permanent loop. So all of our corrections, our logical corrections, have caused problems. So you can never win on this one. That's all right. You just play in one of the other ones to win. Right. Okay, so but if I play here, you play here, and then I play there, at least then this square, that doesn't matter. Okay, I'm just going to play middle. All right, so you're up there. I don't know what's happening anymore. Okay. You've got a good threat now. So, if you choose middle, you have a threat. Left, you have a threat, but I will block yours. So you can't go left. Bottom, you don't make a threat, but you send me up here, which then gives you not much usefulness. So bottom's bad. Top middle is bad because you don't create a threat and you give me a chance to create a threat. Top left, you create a threat and you send me to the weird space. Yeah, that'll work. Mitchell saying, you want to force me to choose the middle left? You must delete the remaining squares. So bottom middle forces me up to top left. And then I will give you something. Because there's nothing I can do here to develop anything. I don't think I've ever had a game of this go on for this long. It's so good. All right, where are you? You're up here. Okay. Nightcakes is thinking bottom mid because that forces me up to top left. Top left also forces me up to top left. Top middle's bad. Middle forces me down here. Halogen saying, have you ever had a human v human game of this? Yeah, I have. I used to play it with my students a bit because it was this same level of interesting because you realize that humans have a frontier of how far we can think, and you can complicate it and stuff. And so we get into these situations where it's like we can't see. There's probably multiple times in this game where one of our teams has had a guaranteed win where we could force the other person into a win, but we just haven't been able to capitalize on it because we haven't been able to see as much of the game as we needed to. And also, this is a an example of incredibly simple rules ending up being deeply strategic gameplay. So it's kind of like I had to say so little to explain to you how this game worked, and we've picked it up and we're kind of playing it, so it's really good. Okay, what are people saying? Mitchell's saying middle. Nightcakes is saying bottom middle means they can stall the top right, top left. You mean? For your advantage, the top right square is scary. Which one's the top right? Are you talking top left or top right? It's an even number because he can force us to choose middle left. Yeah, I don't know where your decisions are at the moment. You want middle left. That's what Nightcakes is thinking. You want to win middle left, yes, because that gives you the win. But you don't want to play middle left here because that instantly gives me the stalemate. Because once I win here, then there's no win for anyone. You can win here, and I can win here. And that's it at the moment. There's no diagonals free, and there's no more verticals or horizontals that we haven't both won something in. All the horizontals are gone. So there's only these two verticals left. So Mitchell's thinking top left. Too many moves. Yeah, right? We're at the point where a computer would easily see the finish of this, but we can't. It's just outside. It's only just outside. Nightcase saying bottom mid, and then I'm forced top left. I think you mean top left when you're saying top right. Oh, is this reversed? No, it's not, right? Top left, not top right. Okay, good. I was like, have I been mirrored this whole time? But I think it's only my camera that's mirrored. Yeah, not the not what I'm showing. Others you wouldn't be able to read it. Yeah, yeah. Okay. You there, you force me top left, and then we cycle top left, which forces me to give you this. And then you win, right? Because it's like an even or odd number here. I'm not even counting, but if I go there first, you're going to end up being able to push me here, right? I think that might be it. I think you can win here. I think you might be able to. Okay, let's go. Nightcakes is thinking bottom middle, yeah? Yep. Which forces me to play top left. And then you play on the top left. So it's back to your turn. Because I was forced there into playing something. So now you've got these top four. And you're not going to pick this one. Because that would give me the stalemate. If you play top left again, then I'll have to go to one of these. Mitchell saying top middle. Just keep sending me the... Nightcase is saying top right. Do you mean top left when you say top right? Did you mean this one? Top right and top middle end up with the same thing. The sequence is going to end up the same. Turn order thing, yeah. Yeah, right. Nightcakes is saying you're cooked, and I am also cooked. I fully understand that. We are. we have, we have melted our brains trying to fully understand this, which is really cool. Okay, top left, which means I play in the same square. If I go mid, you could go top left again, and then I'd have to send you to the top, and you go top left again, and I have to send you there, and then you win. If I go top right, you send me top left. I go mid, you send me top left. I go left, you win. Oh, this is looking bad. This is looking real bad. Yep, I think that's the game. I think you win. I think there is no way that I can win this because this option is an instant loss, and both of these lead to a loss. No, you didn't tie, Mitchell. I think you win because you'll get this vertical line because there's nothing I can do to stop it. Okay, I will show you the win. I go here, and then you, I assume you send me back to the top left. Yes? You send me back to the top left. I cannot send you to this one. I send you to the mid. You go to the mid, and you send me to the top left again. I send you to middle left. You go anywhere. Any one of these. All of them are a win. Actually, not the middle one. Oh yeah, no, the middle one was. Okay, so we just take that. And then, there you go. I applaud you, chat. You have, like, Oh, Mitchell, you thought the turn order was the other way, and you were gonna get forced into it. Yeah, no, it was perfect. I saw it when we got close to the end, and I was like, damn, I took a huge advantage when I had this and this, and you had nothing. And then like didn't realize how you had actually like yeah, you'd pushed me into playing a certain way, and then I was so trying to win on these two up here that it didn't end up working out. My kicks, you got that doggy. Very good, very good. So the beauty and the joy of Nineboard Tic Tac Toe is I love it because it sits at an exact point of strategic depth that we can barely see what we're doing, but it's actually really good. Like we can barely see what we're doing, which means we don't know if we're going to win or not. And then when we do, it's really exciting. So normal tic-tac-toe, super boring because you can see the whole game from the beginning. And stuff that's more complicated than this is much harder to play the first time you play. Like, there's probably, like, a bunch of this which is just like, oh, if you know how to play, you can win. But the first time you play this, it sits at a very, very perfect level for, like, people who consider themselves good at games and stuff like us. Like, I consider myself to be very good at games. But there was too much of this for me to be able to see and understand, which is what makes it so beautiful. What's Mitchell saying? You either wanted to win left column, middle row, or top left to bottom right. So those were the advantages that you had. Yeah, because you kind of had a good chance in the middle from the beginning. Nightcase thinks that left column was always the plan in your head. Yeah, so you were distracting me over here, especially because I won two that didn't link up. So there wasn't a huge threat of me winning those. I think when I won the middle, there was a scary kind of possibility there. But this one was super interesting. The way that you never won this for so long, and then it allowed you to kind of just force me back here for you to win it. That was kind of cool. Yeah, right. Mitchell saying your game plan was always to force me to choose middle left. And I thought I had a really good position here because they're both right column wins. So I didn't have to play middle left to win either of these. But there was a lot of traps that you had where a couple of times you forced me top left. It was both like the late game and the very end game where you forced me top left, and that was what won it. That was cool. I guess that's why you thought bottom mid and bottom right was not worth anything. It was not worth you trying to win those because your left column was the strongest. And you should have sacked the center. It would have been, if you'd won the center, the game, I think you would have won a lot earlier. Because there's this and this. You would have won very easily if you'd taken the center, but you may have lost something else crucial if you'd taken the center. Although it would have, I could see you winning on the middle row. And as like Mitchell was saying, the middle row and the diagonal were both viable wins for you. Even bottom row. Oh no, I got this one at the very beginning, but yeah. Mitchell saying you liked the center, you think you could have had it for a bit. Yeah. But Nightcase thinks it would have been hard. So it could have been quite hard to take the center without losing something crucial on one of the edges, or worse, me winning one like the top. Because if you'd taken the middle and I'd won the top, then I would have probably gotten more progress on that horizontal or something. Who knows? Hard to say. There's some interesting things here with like you winning this and me getting 3 in a row, and you winning this and me getting 3 in a row. But I think that was mostly you forcing me to these places after they were useless. Oh, and here as well. So I've got all of these kind of like, you're too late to win. Like here, and here. So I don't think you have that same kind of wastage. I mean, there's a little bit here. This was all strategic. Yeah, very cool. I had scary positioning top left and bottom right. Yeah, I think losing this cost me, but I ended up losing both of them. So you ended up holding that out quite well. And there were 3 squares forcing me to go. Yeah, 3 squares forcing me to go to this one. And I think there was a point where it was top left, and top left or something. And so you just kept bouncing me back here until I lost it and you won it. Yeah. That's cool. Let me save this. Nineboard versus chat. Nightcake says 1550 on Lichess. Yes, I don't know what that is. Mitchell's like, man, my brain hurts, but you do like it though. Strategy gaming's fun. The mid-lecture chess practice is paying off. This feels LinkedIn post-worthy. I beat Marc at Nineboard Tic Tac Toe. This proves my my cognitive my cognitive capabilities against my old. Oh, Lichess is online chess. Nice. Is that like Linux chess or something? Okay, let me. Where did I save that? Oh, I think I saved that in the coding interface. I'm just putting it in Discord because this is just so funny that we did this and I did nothing that I had planned. Don't forget the collaborative decision. I think it works quite well. 10 things I learned about managing a team through tic-tac-toe. Small agile team that responded quickly to changing requirements in a hostile environment, hostile management environment where you're your boss was putting a lot of effort into trying to beat you. And then when he lost, he turned it into a learning experience instead. uh, Going straight into your behavioral interview scenarios. When your boss plays Nineboard Tic Tac Toe against you, do you try to win or do you let him win? Obviously, you didn't let me win. Oh, so good. Oh, my head. Oh, that was the funniest. That's the funniest stream. Although, honestly, it's not the first time that we've had hilarious streams that just go way off and we go all in on something completely random like this. Mitchell's like, this did low-key fry your brain. 100%, my brain is absolutely toast right now. Like, I am done. And it's so good because it's the kind of game that's just close enough that you think that you could understand enough of it. So it keeps you trying. Like, it's not far enough away that you're just like bamboozled and you're like, I have no idea what to do. And it's not easy enough for you to see the whole thing. So it's just like this perfect cognitive level to be just beyond a human brain. And so you just work really hard to try to keep up with it. Mitchell's, I love how you started calling top left, top right. You fried your brain so much that like basics like left and right started falling out of your brain. It's like when you try to remember too much and like just other facts just start disappearing. Nike said develop an app version that can read YouTube chat for commands. Personal project idea time. Yes. Yeah, I think we totally could. I mean, it's not that hard. Like implementing this would be so easy. You could do it with like ASCII art and it'd be fine, you know. And it's just like a little bit of game engine to be like, from here, go here, from here, go here. And also not have this situation. Have it so that it has to start center. And then the second player then is forced to move to one of the outer boards. And then they'll all have the right number of, right number of times sent to. Psychological warfare, top left, top right. Oh, so good. So good. Alright. I'm going to wrap it up there. And I'm going to have to change the description for this stream to like massively sidetracked stream about learning about the history of game playing, AI and stuff. Mitchell, what dimension tic-tac-toe is this? You know, it's actually still 2D. Because you can't win anything on a layered. Like, none of it's layered. So there's no winning layered. It's actually still two-dimensional. But there's a scope. There's a wide scope and a narrow scope. So I don't think it makes it 3D. 3D would imply, like, a cube. Where you could win vertically as well. How long did your partner end up sticking around? I don't know. I wonder if she's still here. There's 4 people viewing, and I assume it's the 3 of you and her. Unless me viewing the preview counts as a viewer, but I don't know. But yeah. Alright. I actually, low-key, actually have a headache right now. I can't believe I used my brain too much and I heard it. That is so funny. It's like getting like a stupid amount of exercise. Yeah, it's a 2D array that contains 2D arrays, which is a 3D array, right? Because if you do an array and inside there's a 2D array, that's a 3D array. It's just that this one's not used like an array as such. But this is a 2D array and each one has a 2D. Yeah, it's a 4D. It is. It's 4D tic-tac-toe. Let's never call it that. It's confusing enough as it is. Because it's not really in 4 dimensions. It's kind of a 2-dimensional game still. That's why they call it 9-board tic-tac-toe, because there's 9 tic-tac-toe boards. And then they added layer of having to win them in a specific order. All right. Wait till you actually play 4D chess. Is 4D chess a thing? Is that like, because that was like a Star Trek thing, right? And then like they made it into a real game at some point. If it had an infinite number of boards. You can make this 4D tic-tac-toe look like the 4D chess game. Oh, it's a Steam game, right. Where you time travel. Oh, okay. Interesting. So you can skip from one timeline to another where you made a certain choice versus another. You can see the vision. You make this and slap skins in it. I don't think this is the kind of game that would actually call it, turn into an esport or something like that. I reckon it's the kind of thing that, like, if we did play this, like, we'd only have to play this like sort of like 10, 15 times, and there'd be some strategies that would win out over others. And then you'd be able to be like, always play this way, not the other way, because normal tic-tac-toe is kind of like that. Normal tic-tac-toe always leads towards a an optimal being this. Because once you can do this triangle pattern, you can block everything. There's no one can win from here, because this blocks all the diagonals and most of the verticals and horizontals. So there's only one way that the other person can win, and they can only get this far, and then once you block that, it's all over. That's if you're going first and you do the triangle, then yeah. And I think this has something like that in it as well. I just haven't seen enough of it to tell. Mitchell says you started seeing a pattern. Yeah. I think eventually you get to the point every game draws. Yeah. Yeah, totally. Algin saying we have this stream once a year. So we go for like August every year. We have like the stream where Marc plays against everyone. And it's always in the player's best interest to send the other player to squares that you don't want. Yeah. That's how you dumped me in these two, and I was so happy to do it. And then I won there, but I wasn't able to capitalize on it. So it totally worked. I think you still won more than me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I still only won 3 in the end. So you actually won more, even though I won earlier. You need to make the inverse of the way you want to win. Yeah, you keep playing stuff on the right-hand side to send me over here, while I send you to the left-hand side, and you get advantage in all of these. It's kind of funny though, because I ended up playing there more than you, but you won there before I could do anything with it. Nightcakes feels like this version doesn't have to end in a draw though. Yeah, well, it didn't with us. So there was a point where you could trap me into giving you the win rather than me being able to beat you. Or even go for the stalemate. Maybe if I'd actively tried to go for the stalemate, I could have, but I don't know. Yeah, Nightcake saying you think that you can force people to win certain tiles. Yeah, quite possibly. Yeah. Even after putting it through a theoretical engine, you could. Yeah. Hmm. Hmm. This is the kind of thing that turns into a massive sidetrack where instead of making the game I was going to make, we make this. And we start throwing AIs at it and start saying, like, okay, what is the best strategy? And like pick out what the AI does and go, why did it do certain things and stuff like that. Surely I fire up my old code and pit them against each other. I'd have to rebuild it from scratch. It would be a lot of work, but maybe I should for fun. Because I could fire up my old code, get it to play, and then we establish like an AI baseline, and we start playing a different player, which is a strategic player, and say use these particular strategies, and we see whether they beat or don't beat the kind of baseline AI. What's going on here? Instead of Stockfish, we got Marc Cat. Rename Marc's AI. Yeah. And Mitchell's looking at balance across the board and stuff. where yeah, if everyone plays optimally, you will win one side, but you're in a race because you keep sending the other person to the other side. Maybe they win there. Yeah, because if you stall them, they stall you. I actually got you pretty stalled, sending you back to the places there. And it really looked like I had the upper hand, but I wasn't able to capitalize mid game, late game on it. Right. Mitchell saying you notice every square had 5 of one and 4 of the other, which meant that. Oh, actually, the middle has 4 and 3. Oh, yeah, no, still very even. Yeah, they were all evenly filled. So neither of us was able to dominate the strategy enough to keep sending the other person to the same place. Holden's saying also then there should be a strat that picks the move that doesn't lose, but maximizes the choices for the other. So a really simple strategy is just send someone somewhere that has the most open space. This is a super interesting. This is the kind of thing which this is what I'd do if I was like doing like a low level AI course. Would be like, all right, I've made this AI and I calibrated it to a certain level. Everyone's got to play their AIs against mine, and then like write a paper on what you changed in your AI that made it do things. But it'd be weird because like someone would be like, I did like a no code AI, and all it is a bunch of if statements. And so it says, if this do this, if this do this, and that's it. And it's like, oh no, it's not an AI. It's just like a decision tree. Actually, decision tree is technically an AI. But yeah, because you'd get some things where it's just like, there's two forms of AI in a sense. There's artificial intelligence that sort of trains itself. And this is a lot of stuff that we think of as AI now, which is machine learning. It's only one form of AI. And another way of doing it is taking a great deal of human expertise and implanting it in something, which is most of computer science up until this day and age, which is like taking algorithms that humans have put a lot of effort into figuring out and just implementing them. So the actual bit of turning it into code is quite simplistic compared to the thought processes needed to come up with the algorithms. As opposed to a lot of the stuff nowadays is large language models, GPT, deep learning, and stuff like that is like, we have no idea what algorithm the AI is implementing. We just know that it figured something out and it's quite smart. So it's interesting. You get these different forms of AI. Some of them are very explicitly crafted, and some of them are just like, nah, we just made it able to learn and we just threw it at the same problem over and over again until it figured it out. Mitchell, thesis time. 4D tic tac toe for honors. You totally cool. I mean, like, I was working on this for my PhD. It wasn't this game specifically, but it was the thing. I think that the thing that takes it from thesis to honors, sorry, thesis to PhD, is the game player that I had that was playing this could play a bunch of other games as well. So he could play this game, and then you could give it like I don't know, the N Queens problem, and it would try to solve that too. You could give it drafts, chess variants, Connect Four. You could play all of those games so long as the games were specified in a particular way. So while they were specified in a particular way, you could do it. So it's like, that's why it was called general game playing, not just a specific game. Is general, able to play multiple games. And so this was just one of the games, which was a particularly good example because this was really good to play with humans. But there was a point, it was a very, very easy point to reach where humans could not keep up with AIs for this one. Who here hasn't done a thesis yet? I'm not sure as many people do theses as they used to. Yeah, people are job hunting. Yeah. No, fair enough. Fair enough. Okay, it is very late. This ended up a much longer stream. You can escape job hunting by going for a thesis. Yes, but you also escape earning money, which is awkward sometimes, depending on if you need to or not. But anyway, I'll wrap this up. I have fried my brain thoroughly, and it looks like I fried some of your brains too, which is heaps of fun, which is great. So, I will see you all in ages now that I think about it, because I don't think I'm back until September, because I'm going overseas for a while. Can I stream from overseas? No, I'm not going to try to do. But yes, I will see you all later, and thank you for the last stream for a while being actually super interesting and a lot of fun. Okay, see ya.